Hello and welcome back to Lessons in Attachment. I am Carly Ann, the very proud founder of the Attachment Recovery Gym, which is your online membership for those of you that feel anxious in relationships and dating. It is a space for those of you that are in that learning and taking action phase of your healing. Basically, you feel ready for change and you're determined to become secure and so much more. I'm teaching from over a decade of professional experience and 3 decades of personal experience. What I really hope for you from this podcast is that you can take some gems, some ideas that can also help you on your journey as you move from insecure towards secure. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I know many of you can relate to, and I know that it is a place that I have been as well. It is that place where you feel like you have made so much progress with your anxious attachment patterns, and yet you find yourself either slipping back into old habits or maybe right back in it at like a rock bottom. And you can see yourself falling into these patterns, and that can actually be really painful because you know so much now, and you're now feeling like, despite all of those efforts, you might even be saying to yourself that you've taken steps back. You might be saying that you're back at square one, and it can just be a really confusing, painful, frustrating place to be. And what I'm hoping today is that I can just bring a couple of reasons of why this tends to happen, and hopefully to help you to navigate through this and just to get back on track with yourself. I do want to say here, inside the Attachment Recovery Gym, there are so many somatic resources, there are so many meditations, mindfulness practices to help you to come back home to yourself if you're feeling like you've taken those steps back and you've lost yourself a bit. Let me begin by saying the fact that you're here is already a step in the right direction, right? You're recognizing that this is happening for you. So that is actually really great. Now, let's think about what might be going on for some of you listening. So you've been feeling great, more secure. You're in a place where things have felt like they're going well for you. Then suddenly it hits you. Maybe you've been ghosted by someone that you really like. You find yourself overreacting to like a harmless comment from your partner, or you're obsessing over someone again. Either way, it's that sinking feeling creeping in, and you're thinking, I'm back here again. I've lost myself. The trigger is going to be a variety and it's going to be individual to you. And I actually find it really useful. I don't know if you will, but to consider, okay, I've been re-triggered. An old wound maybe has been reopened, one that I'm aware of already, or maybe this is shining a light on something new. It's likely that there is a lesson that can be taken from this. And I want to remind you, because you guys know that I am all about that self-compassion. No matter how hopeless you're feeling in this moment, no matter how disappointed you're feeling, see if you can dig really deep for some compassion, some curiosity. And in fact, whilst it's on my mind, I would also recommend at this point, Curiously Triggered, a free meditation to help you go inwards and just to explore the trigger that you're experiencing. That's also going to help you with kind of resist that temptation to go outwards and figure this out, and instead just go inwards and meet yourself with curiosity. Let's think about 2 reasons why my clients certainly often experience this idea of going backwards. And like I said, me as well, I have absolutely been here. It's really just the truth that you're not on your own with this experience. Okay, the first reason can sometimes actually be so simple that we forget. Think about it. If you're someone who drives, for example, have you ever got into your car, driven to work, and not even realized how you got there? You just automatically went through the lights, did the things that you needed to do, changed gears, whatever it is, it was automatic. Just like driving a car, sometimes our attachment behaviors can become automatic reactions. And when faced with certain triggers, or if we've kind of become a bit unconscious again, or we're responding to rejection, or an old, really deep core wound has been reactivated, our old behaviors, our ways of protecting ourselves, those strategies that I know aren't very helpful can just become automatic. Yeah, so it's that muscle memory. This especially happens under stress. This especially happens when it is a kind of hardcore trigger for you. So if you expect, actually, yes, you know what, I haven't been doing the inner work. I haven't been doing my journaling. I haven't been doing my somatic practices. I've really let all of that go. Then it is very possible that you're seeing yourself fall back into old patterns. This is why I call the attachment recovery gym a gym, because we have to keep going. We have to keep, it's like exercising physically. When we stop going, what happens? Yeah, what happens to our physical fitness levels? They tend to regress, and it is no different here. It doesn't mean you need to be doing the inner work all day, every single day, and have no fun or anything like that. But do we need to be revisiting and checking in on ourselves? Yes. And anyway, living a more conscious life, living like less on autopilot, actually is going to help us with our happiness, our health, our well-being anyway. So if you are recognizing, okay, actually, I suspect that I'm back here a lot to do with muscle memory, then try pausing, reflecting, slowing down, and just considering, what is it that I know in my soul that I know helps me? Remind yourself of the progress you have already made. That is not dismissed. Okay, you can refocus your attention back on your strategies, back on yourself, back on what has helped you, whether it's mindfulness, whether it's the journaling or talking to a friend, getting out in nature, going to a self-love circle, members of the attachment recovery gym. Maybe you have really dropped out of that and you need to reconnect with us. Whatever it is, do what works for you to become conscious again. Another reason we can often find ourselves back in these positions is that we have not processed what it is that we have been through in the past that's leading to this big emotive reaction. Often there are unprocessed memories, unresolved issues from our past that are lingering beneath the surface. And these triggers will re-trigger them. These situations, this thing that you're going through now, it can re-trigger that. Sometimes it is a core belief, something that we truly believe about ourselves, usually in some way linked to us not being good enough or not fitting in, not belonging. And that can really get re-triggered. This one might not be as easy to hear as the other one, because I guess it doesn't give that sense as much of, oh, I can just do this and get back on track and I'm myself again, because there is that deeper work to do. Usually with this one, and certainly what I recommend, is that you have help with this. If it's unprocessed memories, core belief work that keep reoccurring and showing up, particularly in certain situations, then you may want to consider support. Now, that is something that I'm able to help with. It's something that you can receive through therapy. But what I would say is this: try to make it, if this is attachment related, try to make sure the person is trauma informed, attachment informed. That's really going to help you. Some of you may know already, maybe like, I know it's that core belief that has been reactivated. I know it's that memory, because you may have already done that work in therapy, in which case you may already have the ideas, the tools and the skills to put something back into practice to help you to update that memory, to update that truth, and to reconnect with who you are, leaning back into your tools again. But like I say, if that's not the case, then I recommend this. I don't recommend self-help for this just because I don't, because I think that there are some things that we need support to work through. And if the self-help isn't working, it's probably a sign. And that deep emotion, that reliving in the moment is usually a sign that we need to process something still. What I want you to remember here as well is that setbacks do not erase the progress that you have already made. These are opportunities for further growth. They're opportunities for self-discovery. By understanding these reactions, by seeing, okay, this is still triggering me, it means that you can continue on your journey with healthy coping strategies to discover what it is that you need. Don't let this lead to you giving up. Don't let this lead to a cycle of self-criticism. That's not going to help you. And like I said at the beginning, there's a couple of really good options and actions that you can take right now. You can join us in a community over inside the Attachment Recovery Gym, where there are so many resources waiting for you. Or right now, you can download and listen to Curiously Triggered, which will help you just go on an inner experience to get to know what's triggering you at the moment. I hope that you took some gems from this. Let me know if you're on YouTube, you can leave in the comments or come over to my Instagram, carly.ann_, send me a DM. Let me know what you would add. Let me know what you would take away from this episode. I will be back here very soon. Do not forget that you are deserving of a healthy, happy love in your lifetime.